because I have a dry mouth. What I want you to do, instead of engaging these two, I want you to engage all the muscles that are here. Okay, so let's try that. The way to get your teres major to fire the best is when you pretend you're arm wrestling. So if you arm wrestle the weight that is up there, you will build a mind-muscle connection. Pull slow and squeeze the muscle. 3 is doing that under higher speeds, the pec dance. It's all about the love muscles. Bicep is less strong than in this position. Okay? So that means that when you do a pull-up, in this position you can apply less force, okay, from the bicep. So if you do it this way, it becomes easier because you can apply more force. This band is only on one side. You will assist yourself only on one side.
Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to a new episode of Tribe Talk. Last time we did a little bit of talking about pull-ups and bar muscle-ups, and this time we're going to go into the movement just a little bit more for you guys for more understanding and for tips and tricks so we can help you out. Therefore, I got my buddy Jari with me, and he's going to explain to you what is all on this big whiteboard.
Yeah, buddy. So today we have two different subjects. We have the pull-up, or how to get a pull-up, and we have how to get a muscle-up. We're gonna just briefly go through what we have here. I have a list of movements that we're gonna talk about in just a bit, where we're gonna brainstorm about the order of movements that you should follow to get a pull-up or to get a muscle-up, or both. First, we're gonna talk about this, which is going to be the steps you take during movements or during these types of trainings to get better at the pull-up or get better at the muscle-up. So what steps should you take? And then I'll explain further on these subjects. Then we're going to move on, just like a video game, on to next level, which is this little box over here. The strength versus power and the power and skill box. When we cover that one, then we're going to move on to the muscle-up. And we're going to talk about the bar muscle-up and the ring muscle-up. Yes? Okay. So, with number one, the flexing. Flexing is a very important thing during training, and it's more about the mind-muscle connection that you have with your muscles. So, when Wouter was 14 years old, let me take a sip first because I have a dry mouth.
I was beardless.
Oh, he was very beardless. He just had his first mustache hair. Or was it nose hair? Either way, he was flexing in front of the mirror. And flexing in front of the mirror is something that us boys were doing from a very young age, and is very helpful. And I think that everybody should still do this. And why is that? Because if you learn how to flex your muscles without using any other objects or anything else to get a muscle to engage, you will build a mind-muscle connection. So let's say you have to engage your left pec, this one, engage, disengage, engage, disengage, engage, disengage. Good.
I feel like The Rock.
Dude, the pec dance. It's all about the love muscles. So if you learn how to do that during a movement or before a movement, and you do, let's say, a bench press that trains the chest, think about the results that you will get extra from doing this during the movement. Also think about when you're not able to do this and you're going to train those muscles or try to train those muscles, the effect will be less of the stimulus that you get out of the movement. So flexing is a very big and important thing. Learn how to control your muscles. So the subject pull-up, we train muscles like the teres major and the lats. So if you would turn around a little, please. We have a muscle, if you turn around with the leg, there you go. And now engage this part right here. Well, almost. There's a muscle here that looks a little bit like a chicken tender. Can you push your hand against your leg? There we go, now we can see it better. So it's muscle that runs right here. A little small with Wouter, but you got some work to do. That's good. So we have the teres major. This muscle is one of the muscles that you use for pull-ups. We have another one, which is the lat dorsi. And if you raise your arm a little, you can see that it has its shape and it runs all the way down to the hip bone. So we have a muscle that goes like this, which is the lat, also called your wings, and you have the teres major right here. These two have a very big part, thank you, in a pull-up. Okay? So when you do that pull-up, we have to learn how to control both, because if one is stronger than the other, chances are that you do this more often, you get like an imbalance, and you will pull yourself up in a certain way, which we don't really want. So crooked one to the other side. Okay? So these two muscles should be controlled or by your mind without doing anything else. Just flex in front of the mirror and get your teres major and your lats to work. Yeah? The ways that you can do that is, like I just told Wouter, press your hand against your body and you will feel the teres major. And we're going to just talk a little bit about the lat in the next time. So hand against your leg, press, look in the mirror and see if you can like get that muscle to pop out right here. So press, pops out, relax, nothing. Press, nothing. And then once you got that, you're going to try do it without pressing against your leg. So you're just pulling your arm towards your body, still getting the same muscle to work. Yes? Awesome. Okay. So sticking for a bit with the teres major, we learned how to flex it. Now I want you to learn how to use it during a movement. So engage the teres major while you do a movement. Okay, and let's say we do a lat pull down. Okay, let's go for a lat pull down. So we have this lat pull down station with the pulley. We're going to sit down. We're going to have it only in one hand. And why do we only have it in one hand? It's because when you use it unilaterally, so only on one side, your mind can focus way better on the muscle that it trains. If you do it with two at the same time, so bilaterally, it's a bit harder because now you have to focus on two at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and pull that shoulder down, and you're going to pull your arm a bit more towards your body. The way to get your teres major to fire the best is when you pretend you're arm wrestling. So if you arm wrestle the weight that is up there, like that, then you will get a better engagement of the teres major. So this is an example of the lat pull down. We will go into this one in detail a little bit more about reps, sets, and stuff like that. So don't worry about that one. Okay, relax. Awesome. So we also have the latissimus dorsi, which we can use a little bit more or a little better with pulls that require a bit more explosiveness or more with the chest open, because this muscle has a lot of different movement that it gives in the body, not just per se the pulling of the arm. Okay, so we're going to put this one a bit lower, and Wouter's going to take a seat and he's going to use this one to pull. So we call this a seated row. And again, we're only focusing on one side, because then you get a better contraction. So we start off with a straight arm first. Okay, how to engage your lat? Well, we're going to start off with getting a proud chest. So you push your chest up. It kind of looks like a proud chest. From here, you're going to bring the shoulder blades back, which we call retraction of the shoulder blade, like this. Very good. From here, we're going to turn in a little like this. We're going to dip down on that side that we want to pull, and then we're going to pull, and we're going to bring that hand very close down to your hip. You feel this? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Can you try to get it to cramp, maybe?
It's already cramping.
Oh, it's already cramping. Oh, that's good. And we're going to go back, and we're just going to play this whole sequence again. So we're going to start with an arched, sorry, not an arch, but a proud chest. We're going to retract the shoulder blade. There we go. We're going to turn, turn, there you go. Dip, pull. There we go. All right, and relax. So one time for you guys to play it back. It's a arch, or sorry, not arched. It's a chest up, retraction, rotation, dip, pull. So at home, you can try to get these two to fire. So the teres major is pushing your hand against your leg and feel that one work. The latissimus dorsi, so the bigger one, the wing, is about a chest, retraction, rotation, dip, pull. Okay? And if you learn how to do these without anything else, we just showed you guys with the movements, but you can also try this. You have to try this first without, If you can do it, then you're going to use this and apply it to any movements. Okay? Awesome. Back to the whiteboard. Back to the whiteboard. So we have the flexing during the movement, and then we also have a step 3, which is speed during the reps. And that will kind of like meld into the level number 2 to move on to a pull-up or a muscle-up, since those two require 2 things. The pull-up requires a lot of strength, and a muscle-up requires a lot of power. And the difference between the two is strength is engaging enough muscle fibers, and that force that generates more force. Therefore, you can pull your body weight up. And power is strength together with speed, so you can apply force very fast, which makes that there comes momentum, and that can take you up to a muscle-up. Okay, so to get a pull-up, we're going to work a bit more between these 3. Especially, you get better at pull-ups, or you will get a pull-up if you work a lot on these 2. Flexing during the movement, so pull slow and squeeze the muscle. And 3 is doing that under higher speeds. So this is a little bit more slower, so the 2 is slower. Squeeze, 3 is faster, and squeeze. And then you will generate more strength and more power, so you will get up into your pull-ups. Get the chin above the bar.
Chin above the bar.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. So that is that. To do this, you need to have movements, of course, anything, exercises to get yourself stronger. So we're going to talk about this. Let's see, we have here. Wouter.
Yeah.
We flex. So we learn how to flex. From flexing, to get a pull-up, which one or which movement is one of the most basic ones you think that you can start with after flexing for a pull-up?
Flexing.
Yeah.
For a pull-up?
Yeah.
I would say row pulls.
Row pulls? Nice.
Row pulls.
Row
The
pulls.
single arm lat pull down that we did just now is pretty basic.
Pulls. So you would say, would you say that row pulls is on number 2 or on number 3? Can be both.
Well, this is with the lat pull down, the setup is a little bit easier, and especially for the quick workouts, I would say number 3 because it requires a little bit of a setup. So maybe the lat pull downs on 2.
Okay, so we put row pull on 3 because of the setup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but basically they should be an equal to.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so the easier setup is the lat pull down and equally easy as the row pull.
Mm-hmm.
Lat pull down. We also use a lot of rings. I would say ring rows should be also here since the setup is easy and we have a basic way of pulling. Mm-hmm. So we have a vertical pull, the lat pull down, that is from a high position down, and the ring row is from horizontal, or more of a horizontal pull, so you go forward and back, which are very good for your pull-up, both, but only doing ring rows will not necessarily help you to pull up quicker because pull-ups are vertical.
Yeah.
That's why these 2 are good.
You use a variety of exercises.
Yeah, not just focus on only one. So this is a good start. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have these 2. Then after row pulls, what will be a good one, which is a little bit harder to do, so like a higher step?
I would say scapula pull-ups maybe.
Yeah, good one. Because in order to do scapular pull-ups, you have to be able to hold your body weight on the bars for an extended amount of time. Good one. Can we show the audience what a scapular pull-up is?
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, let's go. So a scapular pull-up, up on the bars, in a passive position in the shoulder, which can look like you're shrugged, but if you disengage the traps, so these are nice and soft, then we're not in a bad position. So from here, what I want you to do, instead of engaging these 2, I want you to engage all the muscles that are here. Okay, so let's try that. Good, so these are still off, and these are rock hard. That's a good one. And relax. So what you're basically doing is you're pulling the shoulder blades down, and because that happens, your body raises up. Okay, and this is the start position of a pull-up. Because if you don't do this and you pull and you use the traps, can you show that one? Oh boy. Then we are in a less favorable position for your shoulders. So these are way better, way stronger, these are not so strong, and you can get neck problems, shoulder pain from using the traps during pull-ups. Okay? Good, thank you. So that was a good one. Yeah, hurting the hands. Man, we got so much.
CrossFit hands, baby.
Fucking hell. I like it. Okay, so scapula pull-up, really good one. Then what else do we have?
What else do we have? That's a good question. After the pull-up.
After the scapula pull-up, what we could try is with a band.
Band of pull-ups.
Band pull-ups after. Oh wait, I got a better one. Assisted pull-ups. So
Assisted pull-ups.
you know those? Self-assisted pull-ups.
Yeah, you mean with the box?
Yeah, or with the barbell. So you put your barbell in the rig at a certain height, or a box. Oh shit, dropped my pen. You can use a box. Let's do that.
Yep.
And we're gonna get ourselves up on the bars with the hands. And what you do essentially is that you assist yourself with your legs. So you have to pull less of your body weight. Let's go on this one, this is better. So you have to pull less of your body weight. Therefore, it's easier to do. And you learn to use the muscles and the good mechanics. So you still keep your feet on the box, and you can use them a little to push yourself up if your lats cannot take it anymore. So active position first, just like we had with the scapula pull-up. And from here, what you try to do is to get these bad boys, the lats and the teres major, to fire as much as you can while you move yourself up. And you still keep your legs on the floor or on the box. So you can dose the amount of power you have to give with your lats and with your legs, of course. Yeah? Good one. So we went from a scapula pull-up to learning how to get out of that bottom position. That bottom position is the hardest part to get up. People that have tried pull-ups and did not make it will, you say that, instemmen?
Oh, they will agree.
They will agree on that one because that is the hardest part to get yourself up. That bottom part, or which they call also the hole. So you can use this one, this movement, to teach your muscles and to get stronger in that position so you will get up easier. That's a good one, huh? Mm-hmm. Awesome.
It is.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Moving on. What else do we have? So after the assisted pull-up, what else can we do? I would say negatives.
Yeah. Do your legs though. Back, forth.
Yeah.
Roll will be good. Either way is good actually.
Negative pull up. So
How about I do the movement, you do the talk?
okay, so he goes all the way to the top with his feet on the box. From here, he has a tremendous squeeze in his lats and his teres major, and he slowly controls himself down until he's again in that whole position. And then when he is there, then he places his feet on the box. The stronger you are in this movement, the more controlled you can let yourself go. Sometimes what we see when people do this one, let's go all the way to the top and just drop down. This has no effect. So you have to be able to learn how to control,
to
resist the tension.
gravity.
Yeah.
Gravity does not exist. The force is with you.
What we see, or what we see in the classes when people ask the question, how should I have my hands? Should I have them like these or like this?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to show your guns, if you have your hands like this and you engage your bicep, there we go. It's a longer length, okay? So the bicep is longer. If he turns his hands with the palm towards his face, engage the bicep and do it. See how it shortens? Okay. When a muscle is in a shorter position, most of the time it's stronger, okay? So in this position, the bicep is less strong than in this position, okay? So that means that when you do a pull-up, in this position you can apply less force, okay, from the bicep. So if you do it this way, it becomes easier because you can apply more force. That's why most of the time you see people get chin-ups before they get, chin-up is the one where you are in this position, and then this is a pull-up position. Okay? You will see that people get this one faster than the other way around. Okay, so if you have troubles with the self-assisted one, with the hanging and letting yourself go, you can try to go with the chin-up style, so the palms facing your face.
Yep.
That's a weird way of saying it. And your palms not facing your face. It's the other way, which is hard. You could try that one. It's good shit. Mm-hmm. Let's go over there. So we had the negative pull-up. I think like getting those 6, like a good basics.
Would be a very good start, yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I think maybe
Anything else?
number 7 could actually be somewhere more closer towards the chin up.
Yeah. So
Especially because
try to get chin ups.
right here. This will be the
More muscle.
strict
Chest to
and then
bars.
kipping.
Yeah. We could also try chest to bars. I think chest to bars are a bit not per se overrated, but underrated maybe.
Underrated. Yeah.
Because it's a very good exercise that not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Because if you get yourself that high to touch your nipples on the bar, bro, you're very close.
In between these two.
Exactly, you're very close
If you
to.
skip the chest to bar in between these steps, you have a hard time.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah. So banded pull up on 7. Then we have the chin up on 8. Agree? Awesome. Then we have the pull up on 9, strict. Because we're not gonna get kipping pull-ups before we get a strict pull-up. Don't fool yourselves. Pull up, strict. And then chest, 2, bar, also strict. I like it. Let's show the banded pull-up. So something that I see a lot in classes and also around in social media and stuff with the banded pull-ups is that when people use them, they either put it a little bit too far on one side or they put only one leg into the band. And I will explain you guys why I would rather not see that.
And
So let's,
also how you get in.
Dude.
This is not how you get in, people.
bro, I have seen some people ate shit when they did this one. Like they actually, whoosh, they flew across the whole gym. That was.
So make your life a little easier and just step up.
Yeah, so using the J hooks or a box or a bench is a very easy way of getting into your banded. Let's first show them with one leg. Okay, and then a little bit to the side. So you, or you place your hand here. Yeah, there we go. A little bit more. Yeah. So this is what we sometimes see what people do in the gym or social media or anywhere else. And what happens is that when this band is only on one side, you will assist yourself only on one side, if that makes sense. So if you
I'm over exaggerating now.
yeah, but if you pull up, well, just pull yourself up on this one. You can feel that this side, the right side for Wouter now, is getting helped way more than his left side.
Yeah.
Okay? So if we center ourselves more with the band, we already have a better position to be in with the pull-up. So now you will feel less of a imbalance. Okay? Now if you place your other foot in the band as well, you already did that, awesome. Automatic. If you place that in the band as well, you will again have less of an imbalance. And that also transfers more throughout the core. Because if you only have one leg in the elastic band, one leg has to absorb that power, one side of the core has to absorb that power. Therefore, that side is more engaged. Therefore, that side of the pull is also stronger. That one is a little bit more in detail and more complex, but it still gives a favor to one side. Okay, awesome. Banded pull-ups, same mechanics as we showed on the scapular pull-ups and on the assisted ones. It's an active hang into a pull where you do not shrug the shoulder. Okay, very important.
All right.
Okay, chin up.
Just go through, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Get a pump, Wouter. Let's go. So chin up. It's a supinated grip, active hang into the pull. We do not want to see the shoulders rise, okay? And what we also want to address with the pull is that you can have more of a emphasis on the teres major or on the lat, okay? And the difference between the two is your body position and tension. So we can do a gymnastics pull-ups or gymnastic pull-up. Gymnastic chin-up, either way it goes. So we have a more engaged core. What we see with Wouter, do a couple more. Yeah, bro, you gotta work for it. You can see it, you can see exactly what I mean. Because if this doesn't engage, exactly, there was the pop. Let's do it again. Look for a pop right around his chest. Go. Ooh, boy. Good shit. And relax. Okay. So Wouter has all the show in his core, but it's not really, really active. So if you have a stronger core for your gymnastics pull-ups, you will see that we have less of an arch when you pull. Okay? And why do we do not want that one on the gymnastic pull-up, which is more in a hollow body? It's because if you engage your core, so the obliques a bit better, you will engage your teres major more, your pecs more, and therefore you have a more of a controlled pull-up. Okay? We also have the what we call the more bodybuilder style pull-up, where we go a little bit more arched and we focus more on the lats. Okay? So let's do that one. So we arch up a bit more. The core is still engaged, but the core is engaged right up in the middle through the six-pack. We're going to open up our chest as hard as we can, and we're going to pull from there. Because we have this arch, and if you paid attention on the previous ones, or otherwise you can scroll back to it, the flexing of the lat, we had a little chest up arched position, right, to pull, so we could engage the lats better. We just do the same thing on this one, only now we're not using the rotation and the dip, because we're not working unilaterally, we're working bilaterally. So we cannot rotate because we cannot rotate two ways at the same time. That's why we don't rotate on that one. So it's just that chest up and then pulling down to get the lats work better, right? Mm-hmm. Cool, I like it. So we have the chin up and we have the pull up strict. So both in the different grips. Then we have the chest to bar strict. Can you do one? Bro, what is a chest to bar? Oof. Let me explain first so he has a little rest. Chest to bar is where you pull up and you, he's going for some chalk. It's the resting tradition, resting out. So the chest to bar is to pull yourself up where you touch the bar or the rings or whatever you pull yourself up on, right under the collarbone. Okay, so that is a chest to bar pull up. The lower you get on the chest, the better your chest to bar because you get way more power output. And then eventually, when you can pass a certain point, you got a strict muscle up, either bar or ring. Okay, so that's why the chest to bar is really important. Let's try one. Let's try one, buddy. Come on, we got it. Let's go, let's go. Up. Ooh, not there yet. Oh, let's go. Let's go again, let's go again, let's go again. Up. We can. We edited the shit out of that one. Okay, good. So to get a chest to bar pull-up is really important for your muscle up to be very efficient and powerful, okay? That's why we think the chest to bar should be an exercise that is the last one in the pull-up range to move on to muscle ups. You could still, if you really want to get fancy, you could do chest to bar or clapping pull-ups where you pull yourself up and you clap and you catch yourself again, which is very cool. That is very cool. Very cool.
I cannot do that.
Can you try that one?
I can try.
Yeah, you can try.
I'll fall.
You will eat shit.
I can try.
Yeah. So that one could also be in the mix. But to talk about strength and power, we have to be able to use our strength quick to get some momentum up. If you're that strong in your pull-up, in your chest to bar, to do it all very slow and controlled, A-okay. Do not play around with that one or... No, I'm phrasing it wrong. Blackout?
When you got your strength, that is when you start.
Yeah, so when you're strong enough to do the chest to bar that controlled so you get all the way up into your muscle up, super good. Do not... You can still play around with the speeds, but it's not that you're not good enough to do a muscle up. If you're that strong to do it all slow and controlled, awesome. Yeah, great work. But if you don't have that yet, you can use the power, the speed to get the momentum to get over, okay? The power then lies in how fast you can pull, and you can use a little bit of kipping. So you use the momentum to get up, okay? The kip then also transfers a bit to the skill. So we have, if you got strength and you got speed with strength on that side, good. We're gonna transfer over to power and skill. So we have strength, speed combined, followed by the coordination needed to get into good positions, get momentum, and then fly over the bar or the rings. Okay, so all those things are very much needed for a good muscle up. Okay, so to stay on the pull-up side, we have to cover something that we haven't covered yet, which is common mistakes that people make regarding this list. Okay, so what we see sometimes is that people go on to certain movements that we see over here without fully mastering what's going on here. So what you can see then is that people get stuck, let's say, on a chin-up or on the banded pull-up and not progressing further. Could be because the rest here is not completed fully yet or mastered fully yet. So what you then see is people that are doing banded pull-ups but cannot really flex the lats. Ooh, big time error, because then you're doing banded pull-ups but not for your lats but for something else, which I don't know what you're doing, but that can help. On that side, people that are doing this without somebody looking at your movement, okay, can also be detrimental to your progression, because if you can do it yourself, but if nobody really gives you some feedback out of what you're feeling, then you will miss some important information. So what I see sometimes with people doing pull-ups, they're all shrugging up and not using their lats very good, and they're like, yeah, I can do pull-ups, man, I can do pull-ups.
Without actually realizing
Yeah.
that they're making a mistake.
Yeah, so we had a girl once that was doing assessments over here, and she said, hey, I can do 5 pull-ups. I was like, okay, show me. So she went up and it was like, whoa, all traps. And then I asked her, okay, let's go in the position where you use your lats, and hey, no pull-up. Well, that's weird, right? So then did a whole bunch of this, getting real good, flexing everything, and then banging out pull-ups like crazy without using neck, and therefore no shoulder issues anymore. So also the people that are watching this that are not a member here, get yourself somebody that knows their shit, knows their stuff about pull-ups, that can help you out and give you a step further if you're not progressing.
And for the members, just hit up me,
Yeah.
Jari, Jeroen,
Everybody,
Nick, Miriam, anybody who walks around,
all the coaches.
all the coaches.
We have not covered the sets and rep schemes that you can use, which is also an important one.
Very important.
Very important. So, sets, I would say 3 to 4 sets. Okay? Why? It's because most of the time you will feel this. If you do the first 2, you're like, oh man, I'm glad that it's over. And then the third and the fourth one is where you book massive progression. So keep that in mind. Okay? Then we have the amount of reps. For the strength, so getting stronger, I would say between 1 and 6. Yeah? To get strong, like actually strong. But if you want to do more repetitions, or you want to build more size in this area or muscle quality or whatever, then I would say from 6 up to 15 repetitions. Okay? The resting periods can be anywhere from 1 up to 2 minutes. That applies to all of this. Okay? Cool. So, I think that's a very...
I think it's a wrap.
It's a wrap, right?
Yeah.
So go play around with this, start flexing, and start checking all these boxes. If you're able to do the movement, flexing during the movement and doing the movement under speed while still getting a good contraction, then move on. And don't be afraid to go back to the basics sometimes, because they can help you a long way.
The better the basics, the better the top.
All right, buddy. That's a wrap. See you guys on the next episode.